Let these troubled days be done. I tell you, come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. Put our music down and get ready to roll. P. Ricky, good morning, good morning, good morning. You know, with this year going by so fast, it really makes you ask yourself, how can I be more productive? What can I do to get more done with the time I have available? And I think it's because at the end of the day, thank you, yes, big brother. Yes, sir. Thank you. You got to reach out to me, direct message me, Ricky, so we can get to know one another a little better. You know, what can you do to be more effective? You know, when you're operating from a to-do list, you know, in chapter 7 of the 12 Universal Laws of Success, there's a whole piece there on doing the law of action and how to do a daily action plan and how to, you know, monitor your progress. But you get to a point where you say, you know, I need to be more efficient and I need to be more effective. I need to get more done. You may have 10 things to do and you're only getting like 4 or 5 done. Say, like, I need to get more done. Well, there are a couple of approaches to looking at that. Number one, are you attempting to do too much? And that can be a challenge because we can be so anxious or so desirous of creating a particular outcome that we make this list of all these things to be done and whatnot, and you know, we really over project. And so that's number one, to look at the list that you're making, the things that you're setting out to do, and are you undermining your results by attempting to do too much? One of the nice things about that is that when you look at the list of things you have to do each day and determine if you're attempting to do too much, the way to measure that is to look at your goals for the week, for the month, your goals for the end of the year. We have a certain amount of time. We have a few months left in the year. And so to look at your goals for the year. And so now once you look at your goals and you sort of back it up to the present, then it may be that you're over projecting. It may be that you're attempting to do too much. But once you resolve that issue, you say, okay, you know what? Where I want to be by the end of this year, by the end of this month is reasonable, it's doable. I have to have a very disciplined approach for it, and I must do A, B, C, and D at specific times. And so once you settle on that, I'm not attempting to do too much, then now the next question is, how can I get more results, better results from the time I have available to operate? And so this is about how do I increase my productivity? Number one, anything that is not scheduled will probably not get done. And so when you prepare your to-do list, and I'll tell you folks, the golden bullet in productivity is to lay out your list of things to do and the schedule of when they must be done the night before. Do it before you get tired. Do it when you still have some clarity and some energy. And let your subconscious mind begin to work on it overnight. Certain things happen when you do that. Literally, you're sending out your vibration to the universe of what you want to accomplish the next day in real time. And so the universe can be working on it while you're sleeping. So you must be operating from a to-do list. On your list, you must have the scheduled time for things to be done. If you don't have a schedule for any particular activity, it really is, the chances are something will happen, an intervening situation. Good morning, Brother Burton. Thank you. And hey, Corey, good seeing you today. And so you really have to have that schedule now. And then you have to have the discipline to stick to the schedule. If you don't stick to the schedule, then the schedule doesn't matter. I also recommend what I call block times, which is if you have categories of stuff to do. So just my own personal example. So I have a nutrition company that I'm a part of, have obligations. I have a global e-learning platform that I'm involved in. I'm a co-minister of a church. I have caregiving responsibilities. And just those 4 areas are enough. I mean, there are other things too that I do, but those are 4 main areas. And so when I say block time, when you look at the areas of your life that you have stuff to do, block time and do those things in a particular area. So I'll set aside a certain amount of time to plan for doing my church activities. And then when I have them on my schedule, now you don't do everything every day. You know, you may have one Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. In other words, when you can look at your whole week on one page and see it, then you're in a position there now where you say, okay, if I do this on these days at these times, then at the end of the week, I will accomplish those things that I need to do. Yes. Hey, Eric, good morning. And so in your laying out the things you need to do, like these blocks, so maybe so for me, 8 to 8:30 is my sacred time, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm here. And from 9 to 10, I do my meditation and my exercises. 10 o'clock, I have breakfast. Okay. So now, from then on, I got my blocks going. I got my 11 to 1 block. Okay. I leave a space from 1 to 2, and then I got a 2 to 4 block. And I leave the space just because that gives me the ability, to have a little spillover if that happens. And so, say from 11 to 1, I may focus on church stuff. Who do I need to call? My second shut-in members. What's on the schedule? What do I have to approve? What do I have to review? And so your mind works better in a linear fashion when you can focus on a series of things at one time that are related, and that gives you a harmonic. You're literally able to vibe off yourself and get more done and more efficiently. And so by block timing and setting these blocks of time, you can stay in it long enough to have focus, and where focus goes, power flows. When you're doing too many unrelated things, you're like all over the place. And so you don't focus on it, and so you don't get the benefits of the harmonic relationship between you and a desired outcome. There's a whole science on block time. I recommend that you read up on it. Another thing to be considered is if you are consistently underperforming. In other words, you're consistently not getting the results you desire and you know that you're capable of, then it's a good thought to what's stopping me? What barriers are keeping me from getting the results that I desire? What barriers are keeping me from following my schedule to do the activities necessary? You see, life is a lot like sales. It is sales, really. When you teach sales, you tell a person, like for a salesperson, you say, look, what we have found is you must make X number of calls to speak to Y people. You have to speak to Y people to get Z appointments. You have to have Z appointments to get A presentations. You have to have A presentations to get B results. And so when you look at you might say the cause and effect of your journey through the day to get things done, excuse me, and you look at poor results, then that question of, well, what's stopping me? What's slowing me down? And once you ask that question, now be honest with yourself. You may be letting yourself get sidetracked by distractions. Every 5 minutes, you may be stopping to check your phone, check your text, check your emails. you may be approaching it unprepared, so that you may have a 2-hour allotment set out to get things done, but you spend an hour and a half looking for stuff. Poor organization. So when you do this type of analysis, what's blocking me? Now you can identify those blockages and handle them so that you can get on a more productive path. This is I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible, but this is a key to what successful people do that unsuccessful people do not do. So let's review. Number one, they are always time bound, time aware. And so they have a vision and specific goals laid out in advance. 2, they have a plan of action. And that plan of action includes laying out a to-do list. I sometimes call it a run list, what I got to do tomorrow, of the things that must be done to accomplish the goals that they desire, and the schedule of when those things must be done, and to allow enough time to do it. You know, I leave those little extra hours between blocks so that to deal with the unexpected. Because one of the things that happen, if you get off track in block A, stop when it's time to go to block B. Don't let stuff that happened in block A mess up your block B. So always be time bound. Thank you so much, Sade. Proactive versus reactive. Yes, thank you. And so, you know, when you get off track, if you're so my 11 to 1, that's one block, okay? My 2 to 4. My 11 to 1 block, stuff happens. The toilet stops up. I get a call from a situation, A, B, C. Now, let me not let all that now interfere with the next block. All right? So, once you can identify this system and practice it, another guiding thought is that to always ask that question, you know, during your day as you operate within your time blocks, as you follow your action timetable of schedule when things must be done and what must be done, stuff happens. And so you have to make a choice, a judgment call based on this. What is the best use of my time right now when I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose? What is the best use of my time right now? And so this way, whatever interruptions, whatever unexpected things come into your play, you can evaluate the extent to which you should interact with them. This way, you can always operate on high priority items. As they say, you get more bang for your buck. And when you operate on high priority items, you get high priority results. This is just a little taste today to help us increase our productivity. Each of us has the same number of hours, same number of minutes, same number of seconds in a day. Some people can get a lot more done than others. The key is to have a system, a systematic approach to planning, executing, persisting, and monitoring your progress to then evaluate and plan, execute again. So you're always evaluating so that you get better every day. Our mantra for your daily activities is this. Number 1, I did everything I could today with what I had to do it with. And that was enough. And then number 2, to look at each and every day and say, every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. When you work from a written list, you have a written documentation of your activities and your progress. Now you can review, reflect, modify, and get better. So I hope this helps everybody today. This is Wisdom Wednesday, And I know that we're on the path. We're starting this month, and isn't it amazing how much of the year has already gone by? So now I wanted to give you some tools so that you can use each day in the most effective way to create the life you desire. I invite you to visit our website, www.herbertharris.com. And I also invite you to, we still have our holiday piece going. You know, people are getting that 8-day vacation when they buy 6 autographed copies of the 12 Universal Laws of Success at an incredible discount. And so that website is www.theperfectgift.me, theperfectgift.me. Thank you so much, everyone. May you have a great, incredible, productive day, knowing that you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is.